Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I really want to do a blown out smoky eyeliner, something really soft but super smoky and quite intense. I know soft and intense you would probably not put together, but I just want it to be really blended and smoky, but just on the lash line. As you guys know, I love doing eyeliner with eyeshadow. I think it's really soft and really smoky, and it's easier to smoke out because it is just a powder and not a liquid. And I think it would be really fun just to, mix it up and play around and create a really smoky lash line. This of course can be something you can wear every day and make it much more subtle, or you can really enhance it and make it really intense for a nice evening out or special occasion. So if you want to see how I achieve that look, or try to achieve that look today, then please keep on watching. So I've already gone in just to hydrate and moisturize my skin and go in with a primer, and for that again I took my Magic Cream Light and my Professional from Benefit. To add a really nice glow underneath my makeup even more so, I'm going to take my Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury. This is in the shade 1 Fair, and I'm just applying this to all the high points of my face. And the perfect pairing to go with that, I'm going to take my Airbrush Flawless Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury in the shade 2 Cool. You guys know how much I love this. I use it pretty much in every single video. It's amazing. If you haven't tried it, please do. That's all I'm going to say. Add a little bit more coverage and even out my skin tone, I'm going to take my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Vanilla. To then brighten the centre of my face and under my eyes, I'm going to take my Laura Mercier Concealer in the shade 0.5N. Now I'm going to leave the makeup like this at the moment, just kind of let the base set itself a bit, and so we can move on to the eyes. I'm going to take my Rock & Kohl Iconic Liquid Eye Pencil from Charlotte Tilbury in Bedroom Black. This is super black and it is super pigmented, which is great, but it's also really easy to blend out. You do have a bit of playtime with this, which is really good when you are hoping to smoke out a shade. This is also going to create a nice tacky base for any eyeshadow we apply on top. Just going to take my face powder just to set the eyelids as well. Okay guys, I've come a bit closer to the camera so you can hopefully see what I'm doing a bit better. Because my eyes are a bit small and a little bit hooded, I want to make sure that I'm keeping the eyeliner and the shadow that we're going to use on top to mainly the outer corners of my eyes, just so it doesn't close off my eye. I also want to give it a little bit of a lift as well, like I always do. My biggest tip is just grab an eyeliner, whether it's a white, a nude, a colour, a black, whatever you prefer to be easier to use, and just practice. Practice makes perfect. So you do want to make sure your liner is really well sharpened, not too sharp where it hurts or pulls or tugs on the eye. But I find a liner like this is super creamy, which means that you can just apply a nice amount of pressure. Don't worry if you make mistakes, get a face wipe, get a Q-tip, do not worry. And you can obviously do this without any makeup on, but because I haven't powdered anything, I can just clean up and go back in with some foundation or concealer. So I'm going to start off with going onto the outer corners and just really lightly applying a bit of pressure. I really want to make sure I'm getting into the lashes as well, just so it can make the lash line look a little bit thicker. Like so. So as you can see already, it's quite dark, and you can probably see that it's already making my eyes look a little bit small. If I try and look straight on, you can see that because we've added a bit of darkness and it looks quite harsh because I haven't blended it yet, this eye does look a little bit smaller. That's just an illusion that we've created because we're taking a darker shade than a lighter shade. So that's why you contour and bronze out with a darker shade, and then you can highlight with a lighter shade, whether that's a white, a cream, a nude, or even a shimmer shade. Or like what we're doing, we're going to try and keep the areas where we want to look brighter, more awake, completely product free. Don't worry if it looks a little bit crazy, we're going to go in and blend it out. I'm taking a really dense little brush just so I can really buff it nicely. I'm happy with that shape that we've created, but I'm just going to go back in and add a little bit more definition to the outer corner. Something I'm going to do as well is just do my tight line. This again will just make my lashes look a little bit thicker and fuller. Now Now I'm going to take a wipe and I'm just going to clean up anything that has transferred. Don't worry that it's taken off the powder that we applied. We are going to go back over that. I'm also just going to clean up underneath just a little bit as well. You can obviously take this and make it more dramatic. You can also make it more subtle, whatever works for your eye shape and whatever you prefer. For eyeshadow, you can go in with a black to match the liner, or whatever colour you've decided to take as a pencil, you can match it. I'm going to take a few shades from my Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow palette. So I'm going to go in with my Charlotte Darling palette and one of my other favourites, the Luxury palette in Copper Charge. So from my Charlotte Darling, I'm going to take this more purple plummy brown shade, which is the darkest one in the palette. I'm going to take it on more of a dense brush again, just so it packs it on and also we can blend it out. Always start off with a small amount because you can always build up, but it's much harder to take away. I find constantly opening and closing my eye and moving my head around can really help to not just get where I want to get onto my eye, but also to see the overall shape that you are creating. Once again, I'm going to clean up with a wipe. I just want to clean up more of the inner corner a bit because I don't want product to blend into that inner corner too much. I'm going to go in with this more warm shade here that I tend to use all the time in my crease, just to give it a bit more warmth, and I'm just using the same brush as well. I'm focusing that more in the center, just so it makes my eye colour pop ever so lightly, but also it's a nice gradient of colour and shades. So it just adds a nice bit of warmth because I don't want it to be too dark, but I still want it to be really smoky. Keep building up until you are happy, and I've just cleaned up again with a wipe, and now I'm going to go back in with my concealer just to kind of really carve it out and make it look a little bit more crisper and neater. I'm going to take a brush and just use that to blend it out. And then I'm going to take my sponge and just blend that out even more. So it's not super difficult, you don't have to make it have a ton of steps. You can go in with a lighter colour, you can go in with way more colourful colours, but it's just about building it up and getting it to the intensity and shape that you prefer. So sometimes with looks like this you do have to take your time, and then once you're used to doing it a few times, it'll be super quick and easy for you to do. I'm now going to go do the same thing to the other eye, and I'm going to be right back. Okay guys, so I've done the other eye now and I've cleaned up, and I really like the shape of them. Now I'm just going to do my brows, and for that of course I'm just taking my brow gel from Charlotte Tilbury. Now I'm going to add a bit of definition and colour to my face. So for that I'm going to take my Hollywood Contour Wand from Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Fair Medium, and then I'm taking my Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand again from Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Pinkgasm. And of course, to finish everything off, I'm going to take my Spotlight highlighter. And then I'm going to take my Laura Mercier translucent powder just to set everything in place. I'm going to take my Cheek Leader palette from Benefit and go in with the Hula shade. And then for blusher, I'm just going to dip into the Coralista blusher shade. Now I'm going to curl my lashes and add mascara. You of course can go in and add some false lashes if you like, but I'm really going to try and build up that false look with my mascara. Now for my lower lash line, I'm going to go in with that same shade that we used before, just to create a nice bit of warmth and definition to my eyes, but I don't want it to be too dark. Now for the inner corners, you can of course leave them bare like this. You can go in with a really bright colour, you can go in with absolutely anything that you like. I'm going to go in with the shimmer shades from my Luxury palette. I'm obsessed with these shimmer shades, they're so pretty. So I think I'm going to go in with just the gold, nothing too crazy, but just something to really make my eyes pop. I'm going to start off with taking it on my finger and just press it right into the inner corner. Also going to take my Cookie highlighter because this is super glowy and really reflective. and take it underneath as well. Definitely go in with like a liquid glitter and then build it up as well if you would like. Literally do whatever you want. I also just added some underneath my brow bone as well. So as you can see guys, it's just giving me a nice pop of colour, and it just adds something else, especially the brow highlighter I really like. You of course can go in with glitter and liquid glitter or anything, way more shimmer shades. You can go in with a bright colour, literally anything you like. Now for lips, I'm just going to pair it with a nude lip, but again, you could go with a bright lip if you like, but I think because the eyes are quite dramatic, I like to keep the lips quite neutral and not too crazy. For my lips, I'm just going to line them with my Laura Mercier lip liner in Hazelnut Tea. And then for lipstick, I'm taking my Pure Colour Envy lipstick in 420 Rebellious Rose from Estee Lauder. You guys know this is one of my favourites. It's such a beautiful rosy pink shade. To add a really nice gold shimmer to my face, I'm going to take my Laura Mercier powder in the glow version. This is translucent. Some in the lid and just tap it off and just sweep it on the high points of my face. And just to add a bit more of a glossy finish to my lips, I'm going to take my Summer Fridays Butter Lip Balm and just apply this to the centre of my lips. To make everything last all day and melt into my skin really nicely, I'm going to take my all-nighter and my MAC Fix Plus. You don't need both of these, but I love them both and I highly recommend trying them if you have not already. This is the final look guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned some new tips and tricks. If you did, then please let me know in the comments below. But otherwise, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.